This is my river garden, and I would like to walk through here and show you guys what I'm growing over here this year. For my new subscribers, this is a garden I rarely visit. I come out here probably once a month during the spring, summer, and fall, and so I'm slowly transitioning this area of the river garden to a perennial garden. I do have a lot of annuals in here right now, but every year I'm trying to add about 5 or 6 more plants, perennial plants, so that when I visit out here I don't have to do a lot of work and I can just change out just a few or maybe divide some perennials or something like that. So, and for my long-term subscribers, you know I've been showing you this garden for a little while, and you may notice something missing in the landscape, and it would be a swinging bridge. Right there in the back we had a swinging bridge last year, and in April of this year the waters rose up real high, the river there, and it just took out the bridge. So my father-in-law is slowly rebuilding the bridge. When that river gets up, it is very forceful, so it ripped out the entire bridge, poles and everything. There are the poles right there. Let's see, there's part of it, part of the bridge right there. Here's the beginning of another bridge, and it's going to be much higher. Kind of interesting to see this all come together again. And I'll let you guys take a peek at it when they're done. Hopefully by the end of the summer it will be built again. I thought I'd just show that to you real quick. And so basically this garden has 6 square beds, and I'll just start here on the right and just give you an idea of what kind of things I'm growing. I have a red Thai pepper plant. That's my hot pepper that I like to grow every year. I have some chives all along here, and a blueberry bush right in the middle. Can't probably see it, but it's behind this tomatillo plant. I'm growing 3 tomatillo plants this year. Hopefully I'll get some. Hopefully they will cross-pollinate and I'll get some fruit out of those this year. And then these are all potatoes. I'm going to harvest those in just a little bit. That's one of the things that's kind of hard about visiting here. If you have a garden, you don't know whether to take things with you or to wait when you come back to harvest things. So sometimes I have to harvest things earlier than I prefer, and sometimes I have to harvest them a little bit later than I prefer. Sometimes things don't get harvested at all and the bugs eat them. But at any rate, here is a tomato plant and a lot of little tomatoes. This is my Thessaloniki tomato plant. Okay, so it's looking pretty good, putting out some fruit. I have a sorrel here. That's a new plant for me this year. And up the sides of the archway here, I'm growing gold French fillet beans. Those will be a pole bean for me. In the middle, I want to make this eventually an entire bed of asparagus. But right now I do have a tomato plant I put in the corner here. And right down here is a very mature asparagus crown. This is one I actually moved from my first garden in Florida, where I started my YouTube channel. And my little boy, who was 3 at the time, harvested from this crown of asparagus. So I brought it with me, and I have been harvesting off of it here. Isn't that neat? Asparagus is a really nice perennial to grow. Hey Jaden, you ready to cut some asparagus? Uh-huh. Okay, let's show me how it's done, okay? Good job, okay? We'll put that in our jar because we've been clipping it for a couple of days here. So we got some there. All right, let's see, that's a good one too. All right, you put it in the jar for me? Good job. So a sunflower has reseeded itself in the corner of this bed, so I just went ahead and left it there. Planted some more asparagus crowns in around March, and so I'm just letting those go to seed, and so it'll send more energy back to the crown, and I'll be able to harvest from those in a few years as well. So up the sides of this arch here, I'm growing greasy green beans. You can see I've got one right there already, and it looks like the Japanese beetles have found the beans here. So those darn things. All right, and then so over here, this is my third bed on the right. I have radicchio that I'm letting just kind of go to seed right here, and then I have a kelette plant that I grew from seed, and a Romanesco plant that I grew from seed. And I'm quickly finding out, this is really my second full year of gardening here, that I cannot grow greens here. But really, the greens are something that you have to keep sprayed with BT to prevent those cabbage moths from laying their worm eggs on them. And I have not been able to treat here like I can at home. So I can grow greens successfully at home, but here I'm just not here enough to keep them sprayed. So that's kind of unfortunate. I'm spraying today, but I don't know that I'll get anything from those. And then here's another sunflower plant which has reseeded itself. These are the Russian Mammoth Sunflower plants, and it's casting shade on my tomato plant back there. You can see it looks like it's getting kind of stretchy, looking for some sun, and that it doesn't look as healthy as the other two I just showed you. I might end up just taking this out. It's a nice sunflower plant. But they are hard to get rid of in the fall. When you got to pull everything out after they die, that's like cutting down a tree. I'm serious. That stalk is so heavy, and got to find somewhere to put it. So anyway, I might just take it out, and that way my little tomato plant over here can get some more sun. I've got one sunflower in here anyway, and I'm growing some more in the front yard. And then over here is a kind of a little collection of things. Looks like some calendula reseeded itself, as well as some dill, and then in the middle there's a blueberry plant. First year I put that in there this year. And then I have white swan echinacea and a little lion zinnia there. And then I'll put some more green bean seeds over here on the right of that arch. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the back 3 squares, show you what's over here. Mostly I want this little square here to be all herbs. So I have ton of Greek oregano. I've been cutting that and drying it, and just love Greek oregano. It's wonderful dried. My family eats up anything that I put oregano in, so it's a wonderful herb for me. And then there's Italian oregano right here, and then something else. This was Brussels sprouts, but you can see the worms got it too. Calendula here. This is lemon cream calendula, and a really nice Chinese cabbage that I grew from seed. I put it out here and it's doing real well. I might get some cabbage out of here. We'll see. I don't know. It's getting kind of hot, so it might start bolting on me here soon. And then garden sage with some borage, which is reseeded next to it. I'll just pull that out. I got borage reseeded all through the garden, so I've been kind of pulling it out here and there. I might just pull this one out as well, even though it's blooming, but I want to give this lemon thyme some more room. I planted it in March from a transplant, and we had a hard freeze come through. It completely knocked it out. I thought it was not going to make it. Had just a tiny bit of green left on it, and so it has sprung back nice. I'm real pleased with it. I'll leave this borage plant in here because it doesn't look like it's crowding out anything else. I have some more borage here. I'll probably go ahead and pull those little seedlings out. And then I have some garlic chives I moved from my home. I just transplanted those out here from my home garden. And another borage plant. And then Mexican tarragon, which I think the flowers are real pretty on Mexican tarragon. I don't know that I'll use it too much for cooking because I also have French tarragon, and that's my tarragon of choice. So that's my herb bed. And then over here I have a bed I'm trying to make it all strawberries. So in March I moved over some of these strawberry plants right here. It could have been April. And then I have some radicchio here that's going to seed. And look at the pretty little flowers. This is the first morning that has put out little flowers like that. Aren't they just beautiful? So I'm going to let that just reseed through the garden. I'll be just fine with that if it reseeds. Okay? And then down below there is some French tarragon. Looks like it's doing pretty well. It was just a tiny little sprig when I put it in here in April. I have garlic here, and the garlic scapes are turning over, but the garlic is ready to harvest. I can look at it right now and see that some of those leaves are browning, so I'll pull that out today. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a harvest after this video, and I'll show you guys what I come up with. So these are all the strawberry plants I transplanted from my home garden, pretty much, so all these were free. I mean, essentially, because I just moved the runners. You can see there's a little bit of strawberries on here. This is not a very sweet strawberry, so I might put out some more sweeter strawberries next year and just kind of mix them in over here. Okay, and then right over here is rhubarb, and I planted that in March as well, so when that hard freeze came over, it just knocked that plant out as well. I was worried about it, but it came back, so happy about that. I may plant a lot more rhubarb out here as well. And then over here are just pepper plants. I'm going to put some lemongrass over here, but other than that, these pepper plants are looking pretty good. I have little markers down beside them to tell me which kind they are. This one, however, is called a Parks Early, and it is a hybrid. There's a lot of little peppers on there, and I'm going to go ahead and get those off today. So it'll help this plant. It needs some help. I think it'll be much healthier if I just get that fruit off. Okay, so there is the river garden, and I'm going to go ahead and do a quick harvest, and I'll show you what I come up with. Here's what I ended up with. I didn't get a lot. I'm going to also harvest some of that Greek oregano, but I'm real pleased with the potatoes. They grew very well for me here, a lot better than in my clay soil at my home. So I'll grow more potatoes next year. They're just turned out perfect, I think. And the garlic looks pretty good. I won't know till I get it cleaned up a little bit, but so far so good. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a beautiful day.